We're starting with the Hydrostop, and we're going to start on the top first and then work our way down. And we did it just the opposite when we framed. Once we Hydrostop the top, you don't want to be walking back and forth on the new Hydrostop. Even though you could, you don't want to. So frame down below first, upstairs second floor Hydrostop first, back down to the first floor. Hydrostop, what is it? It's a brand. It's an elastomeric roof coating. I was certified in it, I think back in the 90s, like 1990s, and it's a great product. And we are not paid to endorse Hydrostop. I haven't contacted the company to see if I could do this. Nothing. I'm just telling you out of experience. I put a lot of Hydrostop's roofs on and never ever had a problem. But you have to apply it right, and that's the biggie, is making sure that you apply this properly. And what it is, it's a fabric that you use. And if you're going to use the Hydrostop product, which is the premium elastomeric roofing product, use their fabric because it's meant to go with their elastomeric. Don't try to cheap out. You'll pay a price. So they have a foundation coat and what they call a top or a finish coat. The top or the finish coat, we always go with white. We're in the South. We want to reflect that heat as much as possible because that's where we have our problems. So you'll notice that we're starting with the seams. And what we use there is a 6-inch roll. And we'll put a 6-inch roll. That means 3 inches on one side and 3 inches on the other. And you'll notice that that's on the roof as we start because we've already pre-done that the day before. You want to let it dry before you put the next coat on properly, so you need that 1 day of sunlight. On the edge, on the edges, which is where it meets the brick and where it meets the copper, and you'll notice we use all copper for drip edge, 16-ounce copper. You use a 12-inch sheet, and that's what you use on the edge. What you use on the rolls, I believe this is 40 inches. I might be wrong. It might be 42, but I believe it's 40 inches. And then you overlap it at least, well, they say 3, but we overlap it 4 inches at least. And so you get a 36-inch run each time out of a 40-inch roll. So that's what you see us doing. When you see Heather holding the roll, it's not because she's not wanting to apply it, and she does know how because I taught her how to properly apply it. And you'll be surprised how many people do not know how to apply Hydrostop, even people who have went through and has been certified. They may have been certified and showed that they can do it, but they try to do it too quickly. And if you don't apply this right, you're going to have problems. So she holds the roll because there is a slight pitch on the roof. It's about 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 12 on the roof. So that roll would just roll off the edge. So it's better for her to hold it while I apply it. And as we get up on the other roofs and we get it, it's stuck a little better on the big rolls in certain areas, she will help to apply. And on the finish coat, you'll notice she's helping to roll as I am. Can it be sprayed? Yes, but I don't like to spray it. I like to roll it. It puts on a little bit of a thicker coat and gives you a more solid, harder finish, or a solid finish instead of having any of the little bumps that sprayer can leave. But they make a winter coat and what they call a summer coat, summer application and winter application. The winter application can be applied at cooler temperatures. The summer is, of course, applied at higher temperatures. If you use the winter coat, you could use the winter coat in the summer, but it's going to dry immediately. Not immediately, but really fast. You'd have to be really fast working with it. And I don't like to be out in the heat, although I end up being out in there. So a lot of times we will use the winter coat. And that way we apply it when it's about 70 to 75 degrees. And that's kind of the break point for the summer too. And the summer goes up from there and the winter goes down from there. You'll notice that we applied this Hydrostop foundation coat. And what the company has told me is that the difference between the foundation coat and the finished top coat is that the finished top coat has UV protection in it and the base coat does not. Although I will say, when I did building 1, which you'll see next door with the drone shots, and it's getting ready to get an additional coat soon, we threw some buckets off the top into the dumpster, and another person done it, and it kind of hit the side of the dumpster, and a little bit, maybe 6 ounces of it flew onto the road, and it was there 10, 11, 12 years later. The little splotches about the size of a quarter, it was still there after having been driven on for 12 years. So that's how durable this product is. You're putting a coat down is you take the fabric and make sure that you've got it squared up to where you want to run. You apply one coat with a brush of foundation, kind of thick, not to where it's running, but thick, and then you lay this fabric down, and the key is to have the coat on your substrate, which we use tongue and groove plywood, not OSB, for multiple reasons, but we use that plywood, and it's an exterior grade plywood too. And you lay the coat down on there, roll it on, you lay the mesh on, and then you take and you use that brush and you push, put a decent amount of pressure on that brush to bring that bottom coat through the fabric. So it kind of comes through the fabric, kind of like when you take a towel and wipe something up on your countertop or whatever, and it kind of soaks through. That's what you're doing, and it's sticking and adhering to the substrate and also inside that elastomeric. Then you apply another coat immediately on top of there, so it sandwiches this fabric in between the substrate and the top of the foundation coat. And by sandwiching it in there, so you'll have a coat, fabric, coat, and then the fabric has the foundation coat worked through it. It's saturated with it. It dries. So when this roof is done, the roofing material has zero uplift. And what that means in a hurricane zone or a high wind zone, the roof will come off before this comes off if it's applied properly. And so that gives you a super, super durable roofing system, especially on the coastal regions of the Southeast where hurricanes are prone. Another thing is it has a lifetime warranty as long as you reapply every 5 years a new coat. They'll tell you 10, but you should do it every 5 years. And what you do at that point is you'll get up with a deck brush. I use Dawn dish liquid, and you wet it down and then scrub it with the deck brush and then wash it off. And then you come back the next day when it's dry and you put just you apply new finish coat on top with rollers. And I usually do 2 coats at a time when I do that every 5 years. And you'll keep a lifetime warranty. It's a phenomenal product. We love to use it. It'll be on every single building over here with the exception of building 4, which is a metal building with a metal roof. That'll remain the same. But love the product, and it's what I've always used. I do not use anything, a generic product, because there was generic products that came out after Hydrostop formulated. I think they were the first to come out with it. And they've actually been bought out by GAF, which is a massive roofing company. But they're still using the same formula, but do make sure you know how to put it down. It's a good way to get a tan too. You'll just get that farmer's tan. And you've heard the term redneck, and that term actually meant a Michigan farmer when you look back in the old Webster's dictionary, because farmers would wear t-shirts or tank tops or sleeveless shirts, and their arms would be super tan from being out in the field all day, and then you pull it back a little bit, and then of course the skin's white, and the neck was the same. So that's where the term come from. So it's kind of a derogatory term to use, because farmers, they were the backbone of our civilization here in the United States. 88% of everybody was involved in agriculture prior to the Industrial Revolution, because we didn't have the machinery to do mass agriculture. And that, when that machinery was invented, that created our ability to go specialize in all the trades, whether you were a builder, become an electrician, a plumber, a chef, a doctor, a dentist, a CPA, whatever it was. You no longer had to farm enough for your own family to eat. Now you had an industrial mechanism that could plow and farm hundreds of acres, then thousands of acres, now tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of acres as we've progressed. And that allows very few people to work in the agricultural world. And then you could specialize, which made our lives better, because we have better and better medicines. We have better and better HVAC systems, refrigeration, plumbing systems, all that. We were moving forward at a rapid rate. We seem to be digressing a little bit right now, but we just got to get back on track with that. But anyway, as you watch Heather and I apply this roofing, it goes on fairly fast, but I'll tell you, it is a very labor-intensive material to work with. And if you do not know what you're doing or cannot work at a certain speed, do not do it. It will get out of hand fast. It's like concrete. Once concrete starts to heap when you're placing it, you're done. You're screwed. If you didn't get it flattened out and you didn't get it bowl floated out and finished out and get that cream on top, you're done. Same with this roofing. It starts to set up and you have wrinkles, you're going to have massive problems. So make sure that you practice on a regular sheet of plywood before you engage in trying to do this yourself. And it wouldn't hurt to do a little training.